4, 3, 2, 1. CTS Pop Culture. What's up, Jace?
CTS-PC, episode 24 of 999. Just like CTS podcast main, we're going to be doing 999 episodes. It's going to take 20 years. In 20 years, we'll have like 40,000 Star Wars movies. It's going to be so good.
40,000. Yeah.
Okay, maybe a little bit of an exaggeration.
It'll probably be like 50 or 60,000.
This week is Loki season finale, where we... okay, I'm not going to keep singing.
No more singing.
Okay.
That's we were going to start CTS singing channel, but after that display,
okay,
we're going to shelf that idea.
So, we got what I think a lot of people were hoping for. A lot of people were expecting it, which is kind of weird. I don't know why people were expecting it. And then some people, like on the brink over here, like, hi, why was King the villain? I can't believe you made King the villain. It was so obvious. This person, don't be this person.
Don't.
They're just annoying, and they're no fun at parties, and no one likes them. Just terrible. Okay?
Yeah.
What a weird thing to say, that there were people online saying, why was it King?
Yeah.
Why?
So it was like... Yeah, it was weird. It was like they want these shows, and it's similar people that had problems with, like, there was legitimate concerns about the finale of WandaVision, I think, but also some people were like, I wanted you to not hint at a character the entire time besides some, like, tenuous reaches that I made, and then in the last episode reveal this huge, crazy character. They're like, they wanted that with Kang in Loki. But instead, we got, like, a well built up. There were some hints that, like, maybe could have gone one way, maybe could have gone the other, that kind of pointed towards Kang. And then we got Kang, and I thought it was a great character, a great reveal.
And how good was the acting? Dude,
Jonathan
that
Majors
scene
was great.
That scene when Jonathan Majors is talking to the two of them, and he's like this mysterious, overly virtuous, friendly, compassionate, kind of know-it-all, seemingly sorcerer, can see in the future. Dude, absolutely danko mode.
It was great. It was... I loved the like the know everything, because, like, you've seen it all. And when he was like, they were trying to attack him, and he, like, flitted around, like, teleported around, and he's like, oh, I pre-programmed it because I know exactly what you're gonna do. So this is just, I know exactly what's gonna happen.
Now we're gonna
pretty
sing.
Cool.
So and we were talking about this, or maybe I was talking to someone else. I think it was while we were playing games, but the only concern I have is that it becomes, and I may have mentioned this on the podcast before, is that it becomes, like, too diluted with all these timelines. Like, I really hope that they stick to some major theme, and that you can explore, like, off the theme. Like, there's different things you can kind of explore, kind of do all these things, but I hope that it doesn't get to a point where it's like, I just don't know, like, what is going on. But Kevin Feige's the best in the biz. I mean,
good.
One of the best right now at creating stories. So
Yeah.
I think it'd be really hard to, like, I'm trying to think of the specific criticism that I had.
I think it was just, like, because I think we were talking about this, and just, like, is it going to get, like, too crazy? Like, is it going to be too insane? Because I think it was when I brought up the Spider-Man thing about, like, him being, like,
oh, getting
some
magical
hints about
powers.
magic.
That's what
Yeah.
it was.
Is it
Yeah.
gonna be, like, is it gonna go too out
That
there
stuff
and
seems
be too
weird
crazy?
to me. But you are the opposite. You think it'd be cool. I think it'd be weird.
I think if just all of a sudden Spider-Man showed up and had magical powers, it would probably be weird. I trust that there will be, if that is the case, there will be a reason for it, and it'll make sense and, like, work. I don't think inherently, like, something happening is, like, bad or good. I think it depends on how you, like, how they set it up. So it could be awful, or it could be really good. I think my prediction, and this kind of ties into something we'll talk about later with Black Widow. We can talk about spoilers now. I think there's going to be, like, two parallel storylines in the MCU. There's not going to be one main one and I don't think they'll build up to the same thing. Like, I think there will be the Kang, like Doctor Strange, Wanda, Spider-Man, like that side of it with Kang. And then the other side that's like the Dark Avengers. Like you've got like John Walker, Yelena Belova, from Black Widow, like that side of it.
Dude, that's how they could set up like another Civil War type movie.
Exactly.
Is the
So
Dark
I
Avengers
think
versus
at least one phase will be completely, like, they'll be completely separate. They won't really tie in together at all. And you'll get projects like the kind of the more grounded projects like Black Widow, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the Hawkeye series, the some of the other stuff like that, like She-Hulk. Those ones will tie together, as opposed to you'll get Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Ant-Man. Those ones will all have their Kang version, and maybe eventually they tie together, or maybe they just stay separate.
I agree, but I think all of our core Avengers are going to be together. I think that you could have some of these sort of, like you said, these I don't want to use the word outlier, but these sort of secondary characters that we're being introduced to just now will be together, and then some of the more,
Who's our core Avengers, though?
like you said, Doctor Strange,
So that's the Kang
Wanda,
side of it, I
Marvel, Spider-Man. So maybe you're right. Maybe the Dark Avengers, like you know, you have this subset of characters that kind of do their own thing and don't really play into the main story. I guess I could see that
I just
happening.
think because it's a little bit like having like some of those people in like, one of my problems with Endgame is like, or Endgame and Infinity War and some of the later like phase 3 stuff was why, like, how is Black Widow and Hawkeye, how are they fighting like this big space alien that has like infinity stones? Like, how are they fighting magic? So if you get that Dark Avengers thing where those kind of more grounded, like tied to earth characters get are together, then you don't have to deal with like, what is Black Widow gonna do against Kang? But it's like, how is Hawkeye gonna fight Kang?
Yeah.
So I think I kind of think you do need to separate that to keep it, and it lets you tap into two markets. The people that are like, oh, I want to do this like crazy stuff that's way different from the traditional MCU. Like Loki, I think, was a significant departure from like what the MCU has been like, and go back to a more traditional type of content that people could latch on to.
Yeah. I mean, I like the Marvels. Like, I liked Black Widow. There's some really cool stuff you can do with grounded characters, very human characters. Like, there's stuff you can do with those characters that you can't do with Thor.
Yeah, I can't relate
Or Hulk.
to, like the God character that flies around and shoots lightning out of his magical hammer.
Yeah.
I might have a little more ability relating to like Black Widow or Hawkeye or those guys.
Yeah, so Sylvie is like in the Star Killer category now. Like, completely destroyed. Not Star Killer. Yeah, his name's Star Killer, right? Chris Pratt's character. Starlord.
Yeah.
Who's Star Killer?
It's from Star Wars.
That's what it is.
Right, he's the like Vader clone guy.
Back on track, Jace. Okay. Starlord.
Explains why I beat you in Star Wars trivia. Sorry.
That was so rigged. That was like
we went back.
Joke about that.
We went back, and I watched over it. You got 2 extra questions.
No, I didn't. We're gonna have a rematch because all these accusations are just getting just old.
Yikes.
Anyways,
get old.
Getting back on
First
track.
accusation.
Star-Lord. Sylvia is now in the Star-Lord category,
Like,
where
just
she
totally
just
messed it up.
messed
Like
up everything, dude.
That's a tricky one. I wouldn't quite put her in the Starlord category because that was like a 2 bad options type thing. Whereas with Starlord, they like had beat Thanos and he messed it up
Yeah, that bugs me. That scene bugged me, right? Did it bug you? Because it bugged me.
a little bit. Yeah, it's like, dude, really? Like, is that believable for a character to be like this close to defeating the giant alien and like saving half the universe? That he's just gonna be like, "Arr," and start punching
To
him
be
and
fair,
ruin it all.
he did like he killed his only love, right?
But
And his mom is dead.
you can't like the like we're not gonna wait just a second for Iron Man to pull out his big sword thing
Before you
and
kill him.
like and kill him. Like we can still kill him as long as we get this gauntlet off.
That's kind of where it gets into like we were saying with like Star-Lord's kind of like a human kind of weird character. I mean, he's a half god, right? Isn't he?
Yeah, so he'll be in the Kang side of things. There could be 3 though. To be completely honest,
3 what?
like 3 different tracks. You could have the what's it called? Like the Grounded, like Black Widow, Hawkeye, then Kang, that track, and like as Guardians of the Galaxy. Because remember at the end of Guardians, was it 1 or 2? One of them that they teased like Adam Warlock, like the gold dude in the sarcophagus. Yeah, we haven't seen anything else about that.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we have in Loki. Do you remember that scene? That scene where they're in Egypt or something, and they uncover the tomb. You don't remember this? Maybe it wasn't in Loki, but it was in a series that we just saw. They were in Egypt, in like the middle of nowhere, and there's this one scene where they like unlock this tomb. There's like these people in a tomb, and something comes out. You don't remember this scene? Is it the same thing?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Really?
Are you talking about Brandon Fraser's The Mummy?
Dude. You don't
We're that
remember
far-
you don't remember this?
I'm trying to think. No, I don't remember it at all.
At all.
I vaguely recall that scene applying to other films.
No, don't be
in
dumb.
other films. No,
Don't
I'm
be
dead
like
serious.
this.
Like if similar scenes in other films, I don't recall that ever in the MCU.
I'll have to find it, but as soon as you see it, you'll instantly recognize it. It was a short scene. It was like a small short scene that we saw in one of them.
In one of the shows?
Yes,
I don't.
unless it was.
Yeah.
I'll find it. You'll instantly recognize it. It was at I think it was at the very beginning.
Like the very beginning of Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
No,
when
I'll find it. It was more recent than that.
It definitely wasn't more recent than Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
So it would have just been Loki. There's something I saw.
But that's not Adam Warlock. Adam Warlock
Okay.
is like they like go to the like gold skinned people. You remember that?
This must have been different then.
Yeah.
Am I thinking of something completely different?
And Adam Warlock's like a crazy like Thanos killer type character that's like super powerful. And they haven't done anything, so I think we could even get that third path that's like as Guardians of the Galaxy with Thor and the Guardians and that stuff.
What do you I have a prediction that they'll kill Thor. I think he'll probably die.
He has to eventually, because he's too, like, just from a practical aspect with the MCU, like having Chris Hemsworth in a lot of movies is expensive.
Yeah.
Like that's why, like if you're being super cynical about it, probably why Iron Man went when he did, because they were paying for 2 minutes of screen time. Robert Downey Jr. was getting like $15 million. So he probably goes eventually, but I bet he gets, because he'll be in Guardians 3. They've confirmed that. And then he has his own Thor movie.
Love and Thunder, which will be dope. That's Taika, isn't it?
Crazy. Yeah, it's Taika. No, wait, yeah. Love and Thunder's Taika.
It's going to be sweet, dude.
And then, James Gunn is back for Guardians 3. Yeah, I'm excited for that.
So, are producers bad at directing films? When you're a producer and you're in Hollywood and you're on set, do they have just as big a role as directors do? Or is it more in the backstage kind of this needs to go, like writing type stuff, like
Producers
implementation kind of.
Producers are money. Producers are the money people. They get the money for the project. Producers typically aren't like the creatives.
Yeah, but they have a really big role. I know they have a really big role in movies. Depending on the producer, they can have a really big role in how something comes together.
Yeah, so they do, but it's more on the like back end, like studio representative money side, where they're like we're going to, like, we need to cut this because of some, like, to appeal to China, or cut this or add this in to, like, do whatever. It's more like that than, oh, I'm in the writer's room. And Kevin Feige might be different, is probably different. He's probably more involved. There's probably, like, people at Star Wars, it's probably a little different.
Well, even like Dave Filoni, right?
Well, yeah, and it also depends. Like, there's executive producer, there's, I mean, there can be, like, 20 producers on a project.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought Loki was my favorite. If I had to rank the series, I'd probably give Loki, like, legitimately, probably a 9.4. 9.3,
Yeah.
9.4. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, probably like an 8.6.
Mm-hmm.
WandaVision, it's hard because probably like an 8 point, probably the same ranking, really. 8.6, maybe 8.7, maybe.
That's what I'm, like, Loki, clear favorite, and then WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, both really good, but probably a, like, coin flip. Like, it depends on the day which one I preferred.
Yeah, so a lot of really good stuff coming up too. I'm gonna love that new the rings. Shang-Chi, is it? Wow, nice sneeze, bro.
Yeah.
Shang-Chi and the three rings.
10
rings.
rings. The 10 rings.
That movie looks sick. I've always
so cool.
been really into, like, samurai Japanese culture movies,
Like martial arts stuff.
I think
like
it's so cool.
Bruce Lee. Yeah. It's gonna be sweet. Eternals, I think, is gonna be crazy.
Dude, I saw this thing. It's like, maybe you can tell me about this. Maybe it was like a writer or someone at Marvel came out and said, like, the Eternals didn't want to get involved until now. Like,
that's in the trailer.
That's what it
it's
is.
like
the trailer.
Yeah,
the trailer.
Like, we haven't gotten involved until now. So it's like, what are they talking about?
So who are they? They're just these godlike figures.
So we're not positive in the MCU what the origin is, but in the comics, it's there's the Celestials. It's like, you remember that scene where the Collector in Guardians of the Galaxy is talking about like the Infinity Stones, and you see that big, like, crazy robot dude, like, walking with, like, all the eyes. You remember what I'm talking about?
I know this scene. I don't know if I remember the big giant robot dude.
Oh, well, those are the Celestials, right?
Maybe I do remember. Yeah.
And, like, Isan the Watcher is, I think, his name. And they're these big, like, kind of, like, the most powerful beings almost in the Marvel universe. They created like 3 races on Earth. There's the humans, there's the deviants, and there's the Eternals. And the Eternals are supposed to basically protect the humans from the deviants. And they're like I think and they're super up there. So they're like one level underneath the Celestials, who are like the most powerful, and they're like in the comics, Thanos is like cousins to the Eternals. Like they're like, they share like grandparent, like what the leader of the Eternals shares, like a grandparent with Thanos and stuff like that. But they're just like super powerful. They stick to Earth, and I think the way they're going in the MCU is they're like the basis for legends. Like one of them's name is like Gilgamesh. So it's like, that's kind of, I've always liked that when they're like bringing some of those legends. So I think Gilgamesh, what are their, I don't remember their names, but just stuff like that.
So that has a stacked roster too.
Stacked cast. Just a disgusting cast.
They have what's his name? I don't remember, but DiCaprio, right? DiCaprio is going to be in it.
No.
One of those big guys.
So Angelina Jolie is in it.
But there's a big guy actor too.
John Madden.
No, he's not big enough.
Or Richard Madden. Not John Madden, that's football. Richard Madden, like a couple of the like Game of Thrones guys.
Oh, maybe not.
Kumail Nanjiani is in it. Oh gosh, who else? Yeah, I think it's just like the big dudes are the Game of Thrones guys.
Yeah. Interesting.
But it's stacked.
That's gonna be beast. That movie's gonna be really cool.
And I think it's gonna be like kind of nuts. Like
really?
Just totally different than anything we've seen before.
Huh.
In the MCU at least.
Well, I mean, the characters we're going to see in this phase of the MCU are way more powerful than anything we've seen, right? Way more powerful than any villain we've ever seen before, except for maybe in like Thor Ragnarok. I've heard that that guy that kills
Surtur.
Yeah, I've heard that guy's like in like top 10 most powerful ever.
Yeah, I mean, and so that's like Thanos is up there too. But that was like the overarching villain. Like we'll get villains. I mean, Kang might not even be the big like decade long. I don't know. It could be. There's so many because they're introducing in Love and Thunder. They're introducing like Gore the God Butcher. So there's so many characters that he interacts with that are like disgustingly powerful.
Dude, how cool would it be? Like we get this like big villain, like the entire time we're convinced it's like Kang, like the most powerful version of Kang.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the end credit scene of one of the films, like Kang, you think Kang wins, and the end credit scene is just like picked up and just like destroyed. How crazy would that be by like something bigger, like way
Galactus
different,
or like
Dr.
Doom.
Destroyed.
Or you could get Dr. Doom. That's one that a lot of people are predicting. Because Dr. Doom he's related to the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, and we know we're getting the Fantastic Four. So you have to bring in Dr. Doom at some point.
Yeah. Fantastic Four should be cool. A lot of people hated the first movie. Apparently you did too, right?
I didn't think the first
I loved it, but I think it was because I watched it when I was like a kid.
You were 7 or something. Yeah. So, yeah, because then you got to bring in you can bring in Silver Surfer and Galactus and all that crazy stuff. That's exciting. That's going to be fun. Let's talk a little bit about like Black Widow spoilers. Specifically, I don't know. We both liked Black Widow, but there's not much to talk about for spoilers in the movie because like all this stuff kind of already happened. I want to get your take on the post-credit scene.
Dude, pretty cool.
Talk about what happened.
Okay. So we see what's her name? Yelena. She's standing on the grave of the Black Widow, and she's crying, and she's like talking to the gravestone or whatever, and you hear like this like sneeze, like the loudest sneeze you've ever heard. It was a sneeze,
like
right?
Halfway between a sneeze and like someone like
screaming,
blowing their nose because they've been crying.
Yeah, kind of like that. And you look over, and it's what's her name?
DeFontaine. It's Elaine from Seinfeld.
Yeah. But it was the same girl that in from
Contessa, like Allegra Valentina DeFontaine.
Yeah, something weird.
Yeah.
From Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And she
hit
tells
up John Walker.
Yeah, she tells Yelena that the person that killed her sister is.
She says, "How would you like to kill the person that caused your sister's death?" And then flips the phone. Who is it? Hawkeye.
Ooh.
That was kind of crazy.
We were talking about how it was kind of weird that they always pick on him. He seems to be getting himself like involved in all these different situations for like no apparent reason. Like
this one's not even his fault.
He like retired. He's like
unprovoked.
If you remember in Infinity War, he's just like or Endgame, he's just like retired playing ball with his kids. He goes to grab like a hot dog bun or something.
And they
He
disappear.
turns around, his entire family's gone.
And
I mean,
then-
that's just bad luck. That's a statistical improbability.
Yeah, that like 4 out of 5. You don't even get
Yeah.
anybody. And then he goes on his murder spree. He becomes like Ronin and like messes up all those people, kills them all. Yeah, so that's gonna be crazy. We're gonna get
a fight scene between Yelena and him. Maybe.
yeah, and it's gonna like it's a weird one because it's gonna end with them like, oh, like I like your sister sacrificed herself to save everybody. Like I was trying to do that.
It always seems kind of weird when like a fight scene occurs instead of just two characters that like just talk.
Yeah, why not just like take just a second? Like like she knows her sister cared about Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Like they talked
Yeah.
about like
But but we know how this is gonna go. They're gonna see each other, and he's gonna try to explain. She's gonna be like, "You're a liar," and they're gonna fight, and then they're gonna be done
they're gonna
fighting
talk.
for a second.
He's not gonna want to
and
kill
then they're
her.
gonna be like, "I can't kill you. I won't do this to her." And she's gonna be like, "What? Why do you still care about her anyways? You killed her. I told you. See, she sacrificed herself for the greater good. I tried to stop her. No, you didn't. Yes, I did. And it wasn't me. I tried to save her. It was supposed to be me that sacrificed himself." Dude, someone signed me up for acting classes already. If you're watching this, Kevin Feige, I'll put my number in the description. You call me anytime.
Of our 15 subscribers, one of them is Kevin
Kevin
Feige, and I
Feige.
forgot to tell you. I saw it pop up on the notification. I was like, I won't mention this to Jace.
Yeah, our big subscriber for the other channel is Bill Clinton, so it's pretty good.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. How funny would it be? Not funny, but just like different if she just like walked up and killed him.
That'd be crazy.
Like they just like the first episode of the Hawkeye series, he's just dead.
That'd be
now,
pretty wild.
and then it's about like his like the whole series is his like Kate Bishop running away from her. Yeah, that'd be nuts.
It'll be cool to see some big characters die. It'll be sad, but it'll be cool.
It'll be sweet. I don't know how many.
We'll see some serious deaths. I think Wanda goes. I think Thor goes.
I hope
I think Spider-Man stays because he's
Spider-Man has to stay. He's so young.
Isn't he like one of the biggest money makers right now? Or
Yeah.
the biggest?
One
right?
of them, if not the biggest. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So
How did Sony know? How did they know that he was going to be the one people cared about? The only one people cared about. Not the only one, but that's what they said when they bought him.
Well,
When Marvel
'cause
offered all the superheroes, they said
Spider-Man
we only
was
want
huge.
Spider-Man.
I mean, Spider-Man was just massive.
Before.
Yeah,
Oh,
like comics and everything. Like
gotcha.
yeah. So exciting times coming up. We're starting to get more movies coming out. Space Jam 2. You watch that? No.
No. Dude, you know what movie has like a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes?
Suicide Squad. Is that what you're gonna say?
No. It's a movie with Nicolas Cage called Pig. And it's like Academy Award type stuff.
Really? I've heard about this movie for so long. Like I've known about it,
Yeah.
and it's finally coming out.
Yeah, insane reviews. Like people
Really
are saying
good
it's
reviews?
people are saying it's gonna sweep at the Academy Awards. Some people
Really?
are because it had like, and Nicolas Cage, he's a really good actor, but he's taken on some like really kind of weird roles. Like we haven't seen his best yet, but apparently this is the best of Nicolas Cage,
Dang,
which
that's
should be
crazy.
cool.
We'll have to check it out
Yeah.
and report back.
All right.
'Kay,
Should we
let's
wrap this
call
one
it.
up? CTSPC episodes. Episode